Good afternoon, everyone. Andrea Donà from Vodafone, Chief Network Officer. I'm responsible for everything network related here in Vodafone UK. So I'm here today. I'll start presenting a slide I have, which will guide us through the transformation of Vodafone's UK network, allowing us to move both the network and operations more from a traditional telco company to more of a techco company. So we have defined a Tech 2025 strategy. This is our vision. This is our blueprint on how we evolve our company, our organization, to become much more than a connectivity company. But why is it important to do so? Why is it important to transform beyond connectivity? Well, first and foremost, we all need to unlock that economic potential that the great new technology we're introducing can bring. And we have to drive a new level of profitability through this innovation. I often talk about technology for technology's sake is not really what we're about. So technology operators have finally realized the need and the urgency to evolve because the customers themselves demand much more intuitive digital-first experiences. And only by adopting a digital mindset can those opportunities beyond pure connectivity, which is what we've done so far, truly be tapped into. This, however, does not mean that we will ditch our network. It will still remain at the heart of what Vodafone stands for. It's in our DNA. We can't break from that. But we need to build on top of it these additional capabilities so that we can work with our customers, we can work with our partners in a way that brings digital life truly to the fore. And we need to do two things in order to secure this evolution, this transformation. We need to evolve first the way that we build and the way that we develop our networks. They need to be radically simpler. They need to be a lot more standardized. I heard in the panel just before the real importance of standardization, so that you can start introducing that much needed automation to reduce the cost of running the networks, increase the time to market. But we can only achieve that by really freeing ourselves with that technology debt of the legacy that companies like Vodafone, who've been in this business for many years, are carrying. Because otherwise, that will become a barrier to being highly intelligent, software-driven, and easily configurable, which is what we need to do to enable those new business models and that seamless digital first interaction with our customers. So the first thing is we need to evolve the way we build and transform our networks in the way that I've just described. The second bit is how we evolve the way that we actually do business, working with our customers and partners in new ways. We need to hire new types of engineers with new skills. We need to also, however, not forget the incredible competence we have in our existing workforce and develop them so that their existing competence is projected to the future and embraces new technology. And we also need to build services in a way that are accessible to all, easily accessible to all, based on the new technology we're introducing. If we introduce technology for technology's sake, if we don't render it easily accessible and consumable through these new business models, then we've failed in our transformation. So let's see how we've transformed so far and what progress we've made so far. So we've established a one technology team across Europe and focused, and you'll hear me talk a lot about this, focus on the one team culture. Vodafone is in a unique position where we can leverage the scale of Vodafone Group across Europe and beyond. We now have access to all the skills present in our European and global footprint because of the technology transformation we performed in the last year. We have access to software development, processes and products from across Europe, easily accessible. I do not have to, in the UK, replicate anything that one of my colleagues in other European countries have already produced and developed. And in doing so, we have to be really focused in being efficient and effective in our investment. That allows us to be effective and efficient in our investment. Because if I have 30,000 engineers I can access and technologists across the group, I can afford to conceive once, design once, and deploy many. It's a great efficiency that enables me to go on the journey of transformation in the most effective and efficient way. In the software space, we bring together 12 countries, utilizing the talent pool across the whole of the group. We can truly become a large software company and become a true software powerhouse. The second thing we've done under the banner of the One Technology team is we've built an EU-wide community of technologists and professionals, engineers. And that enables us to create a very broad technology-specific career path, giving our staff a lot of options on where they can develop. They can develop in the UK in certain verticals. They can develop horizontally in other markets in Europe with other centers of excellence in those particular countries. This enables us to deliver two important elements that attract new talent and help us evolve our organization and our company to a Techco company. It's not going to be easy. We're all feeling the pinch of and the stresses of recruiting, the pinch of the economy and the stresses of recruiting. And we need to acknowledge that one fundamental ingredient needs to be us as a company being more appealing than other companies and attract the most innovative and skillful engineers so that we can develop our skill force. So that's what we're doing from a One Technology team. I touched upon it earlier. Rationalizing, simplifying, and standardizing our network is key. I often talk about radically and brutally rationalizing. The network will remain our most precious and most viable asset together with our people. And it will be our key differentiator. But the network needs to be future-proofed. It needs to be secure. It needs to be flexible. And the legacy complexity must not hold us back, as I said earlier. Robust lifecycle management that relentlessly remove legacy as a business as usual activity, not as a standalone afterthought, but as part of the normal operations, will enable us to standardize. And as some of my colleagues earlier in the session I was listening to earlier, enable us to do the much needed virtualization, which will help us automate. So simplification and standardization will allow us fundamentally to be innovative. This is one of the other things that we've done that I'm particularly passionate about, and Vodafone is particularly passionate about. And this is about evolving our organization, the way that we approach business, the way we approach technology, the way we approach our relationship with partners in an open and collaborative way. I like saying that we're honest and grounded enough to know that we can't go through this transformation on our own. It would be arrogant and it'd be foolish to think we can do all of this on our own. And therefore, in order to simplify others helping us along that journey, we need to have an open mindset. And what does openness actually mean? I think it means three things. It means, as I said earlier, open in the way we do business. We have to co-create services and platforms with customers and partners seamlessly, not in a traditional operator and supplier, master and slave type relationship. We're all equals when we're creating an open service platform or and co-creating together. Second, we need to build an open network, which is interoperable, standardized, and software defined. you will have seen in the news that we are truly aggressively embracing the Open RAN technology. And this is not only a new way of working, but it is also as much as a change in our philosophy, in our mentality. It's more than just a technology ecosystem, which obviously we need to inject the much needed diversity into the ecosystem of our equipment supplies, but it's also a trigger, a catalyst for us to change our mindset. Third, as we open our networks, we expose a lot of features and functionalities that are embedded into our network that we can interface seamlessly and in a standardized way with API-based interfaces, creating the much needed opportunities for new revenues. So openness does not only mean working with new partners, but thinking about the new challenges in a different way, with a different mindset. It needs a different mindset shift. And this is something I constantly challenge my workforce to embrace. It also, that is, openness also allows us to be much more creative and implement what sometimes can be seen as buzzwords, but really are fundamental in our transformation. Things like DevOps and fail fast, learn faster philosophy. Because what that does, it opens us up as being seen and perceived as an attractive company for developers and innovators and engineers that thrive in a psychologically safe environment where we can relentlessly improve. And I would like to underpin the psychological safety environment. We need to create an environment where it's okay to push the boundaries. It's okay to fail, provided you learn faster than the speed at which you fail and learn from those failings to continue on the transformation. So you see in my presentation today, there's a real there's a real sense of softer skills, people skills, culture, and transformation. But obviously, we cannot underestimate the need to invest in new technologies across the whole technology space. So investing in a broad range of technologies across cloud, be it public, dedicated, hybrid, distributed, with MEC, IoT, mobile, 4G, 5G standalone, non-standalone, MPN, is also a fundamental requirement for this transformation. But it's really important to understand that singularly investing in one technology and focusing one technology per one vertical of the business is very limiting for the business. We want the business to have the flexibility to moving from one area to another seamlessly, supported by that broad range of underpinning technology that works across all types of business areas. And you'll see in my last slide after this that I will talk about technology at the intersection, not technology for technology's sake, but hold that thought for a second. The fourth thing we've done is we have looked at our converged aggregation network, and we had to invest strategically on it to ensure that it is the vehicle through which we build further intelligent SDN, software-defined networks, but also move from what was a enterprise-grade centralized network to more of an edge-based aggregation network. That allows us, very importantly, to create a sustainable path to our increasing demands in capacity. In the previous architecture, we would have had to upgrade the entire network regardless of the capacity demands. With an edge-based architecture, we're allowed to tailor the capacity needs depending on where the traffic is coming from. This is really important in a day where it's getting much more expensive to run our networks. Energy prices have increased a lot, and we can't afford to have a linear relationship between increase in data and corresponding increasing cost in running and expanding the network. So an edge-based architecture and an edge-based converged red stream network, our red stream network is the converged aggregation layer that we've got, is really important because it also allows us to give optimized coverage by facilitating virtualization and automation while allowing us to embed the intelligence in the network, as I said earlier, SDN and the likes. Now, last but not least, we need to develop partner ecosystems. And I see developing partner ecosystems in 3 dimensions: in the technology dimension, in the business dimension, and in the network dimension. So in the technology dimension, we need to focus on ecosystems that allows us to partner on some of the technology that we introduce, so that we can truly bring some of that technology to life. I'm referring to maybe multi-access edge computing and our partnership, Vodafone partnership with AWS. I heard in the previous session, we're talking about whether the hyperscalers are going to take over from the telcos. And I agree with some of the comments made earlier. It's actually more of a partnership to bring the technology to the fore quicker and in a much more meaningful way. So that's the technology-focused ecosystem. The second bit is business-focused ecosystem. Co-create new services and platform for business benefit, for customer benefit, allowing us to tailor our functionalities, our features that are intrinsic in the network that we've exposed for specific industry needs and for specific industry applications. We have great examples you can read in the media, our collaboration with Digital Barriers, where we've connected IoT cameras to do face recognition using our 4G network, or Proximi, where we've used our 5G network and some really clever software to do remote medical surgery, assistant surgery through virtual reality. And on the network side, I think our partnership in the spaces like Open RAN really show us that we need to build, we need to manage our networks differently in the future. It would be a great shame if we build an open network with the traditional means, because we won't be unleashing the true power of a software-defined and a cloud-conceived network. So innovation from new suppliers, innovation from new entrants to the market, the inevitable new thinking that Open RAN, our drive for Open RAN will bring, ultimately will also lead to long-term cost benefits as we improve our economies, as we adopt COTS technology and off-the-shelf technology. So finally, our concept of innovation. We've seen the progress we've made. And I've talked about the concept of ensuring that technology is not introduced for technology's sake. We talk about innovation at the intersection. We believe that true innovation is achieved by technology when the technologies come together as one. And that intersection point is the area of true innovation, of accelerated innovation. If we obviously have to introduce each technology in a very focused and determined and purposeful way, but the combination of the 3 really brings the innovation. And also not forgetting the theme of this presentation, technology in itself doesn't drive innovation. It's the people and the creative people and the people with that open mindset that really drive that technology, that innovation that's embedded in the technology. Another thing is a technology that I constantly remind ourselves and I remind my team is that you need to be unbiased to technology. We can sit here and talk about tens and hundreds of 5G use cases, but that doesn't mean that 5G is always needed for all the various use cases. It's a mixture, it's a pick and mix of what needs to be used for that particular case, for that particular business model. I'll finish with a very concrete example, a solution that Vodafone has secured and managed for Sutton County Council. So we've taken some intelligent CCTV IoT cameras and we use them to catch fly tippers. So we worked with, the teams worked with Sutton County Council and identified that the council had pre-existing processes which could be enhanced with the right technology to catch and persecute fly tippers. We quickly identified, it doesn't need a rocket science to quickly identify that it's impossible for humans to monitor all the CCTV feeds simultaneously in real time. So what we did, very simply, and this is the beauty of this example, because it's so simple and yet so effective. We connected smart IoT cameras to our cloud partner AI software. Our partner is called Indifego. And through the Vodafone's 4G and 5G network connectivity, again, part of our DNA, we're not moving away from connectivity, but adding functionalities on top of that connectivity, we were able to augment the existing operations in Sutton County Council. And through the right application of technology and technology applications, create new, very simple innovation. Nothing that we don't have available today. But if you look at the combination and the intersection of these various technologies, it will enable us to bring that true technology in an area where there was a business need. So hopefully you will have seen in very simple terms how it's important to focus on the culture, leverage scale, create an attractive environment which is psychologically safe for the best innovators to join the company. You need to remove the legacy debt that you're carrying, because that will hold you back. That then will allow you to simplify, radically simplify, rationalize, standardize, that you can innovate. You go to an edge-based architecture that enables you then to embed the intelligence you need so that you can do software-defined networks. You need to invest in the right technology, broad enough to support all the various business models that you want to develop, and allowing business to seamlessly move from one to another. Allow that technology and that inherent functionality and features that are within your network to be easily interfaceable. Have a partnership approach, an open mindset with ecosystem. And if you use the right technology in the right vertical for the right purposes with that mindset, you'll be successfully moving from pure connectivity, from a pure telecommunication company to a telecom company. Hopefully that's clear. And that's the end of my presentation.
Hello, Andrea. I know you've got to go, so thank you very much. That was short, sharp, and very to the point, enlightening and helpful. Thank you very much indeed.